Hey, Vivek here. And where sky ends? The sky is limitless. It is everything that lies above the surface of the earth, including Earth's atmosphere and outer space. So it is worthless to ask where sky ends. The perfect question can be where space begins. If you launch a rocket, it goes high above into the sky, high enough that it eventually reaches space. But where is the boundary? Where is the defining line that signals its departure from Earth and entry into outer space? Outer space is relatively empty regions of the universe, outside the atmospheres of celestial bodies, which means as atmosphere ends, space begins. An atmosphere does not abruptly end at any given height, but becomes progressively thinner with altitude. If one were to consider the thermosphere and exosphere part of the atmosphere and not of the space, one might have to extend the boundary of space to at least 10,000 km above sea level. But the International Space Station, which orbits at an average height of 386 km, would not be in space if we define space as the absence of an atmosphere. Defining a boundary is important for legal and regulatory purposes. Aircraft and spacecraft fall under different jurisdictions and are subject to different treaties. The laws governing airspace and outer space are different. Flying a satellite 55 miles above China is just fine if space begins at 50 miles up. But defining the edge at 60 miles and you might find your satellite being treated as an act of military aggression. And that's why it becomes crucial to define a fixed boundary. The Federation Aeronautique International has established the Kármán line at an altitude of 100 km as a working definition for the boundary between aeronautics and astronautics. This is used because at an altitude of about 100 km, as Theodore von Kármán calculated, a vehicle would have to travel faster than orbital velocity to derive sufficient aerodynamic lift from the atmosphere to support itself. But the Kármán line is itself questionable and not universally agreed upon. For example, the United States Air Force categorizes someone as an astronaut if they travel just 80 km above sea level. You also can be titled as astronaut if you are passenger of suborbital spaceflight, at least if you make the trip from a US launch site. The FAA and the US Air Force both agreed that flying higher than 50 miles above our planet qualifies a person for the astronaut title. Thanks for watching.